Hello, everybody. This is Joy Shawn coming to you from Florida, PA, and welcome to the SOC Talks Happy Hour. We just might be naming
Right.
this, but we are.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
It's water. It's not vodka, I
Oh,
swear.
this is real water.
Oh, I see how yours is. Yeah. You can't tell
Ready?
what's in yours.
Look at mine
Ah,
has my name on it. Yeah,
perfect.
yours have a name on it. Thank you to
Perfect.
April Brum who bought this for me one year.
Oh, nice.
So,
April, I expect mine in the mail. Thank you.
hey, Shawn. Hey,
Hey, Joy.
fun today.
Absolutely.
Okay, people ask us all the time, right? What do you say to people? Well, how do you get them to that last step? How do you get them to agree to look at send out cards and do that show? What do you do, Shawn? What do you do for that
Right.
complete
So
stranger?
I actually got this from a text from a new affiliate as of last week. He just said, hey, here's a shocker. Instead of me reinventing the wheel, what do you do? You were so smooth. And this was somebody that was introduced to me by someone in my BNI group. So did not know him before our Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, he just kind of went through, what would you say to a stranger? What would you say to a stranger but referred by a friend? What would you say to a friend? And what would you say by a family member? And the first part changes a little bit, but what you do doesn't. You're still going to walk them through sending a card, you know, show them how to get started, talk to them about greener still if they ask questions about that. So that really doesn't change. And I don't, I just put if it's somebody I don't know, like if you build a relationship on, Facebook, it's not referred by somebody. You try to build that relationship first
Mm-hmm.
online, however you met that person. You don't want to, friend request and then you're in. I'm like, hey, let me show you send out cards. I'd love to show you what can I get time for a Zoom. Build that, rapport
Yeah.
and hey, thanks for connecting and look at their friends and see what they do and see if there's some way you can help them.
Right. Yeah. And that's with a stranger. I was thinking about that when you said it. It's like with a stranger. It's like, I immediately went to meeting somebody in an elevator. And
Or that, yeah, could be that
you
too.
start to have this conversation with them, what do you do, kind of thing. And then, I know for me, it's about the first thing that comes to my mind is something about them. It's like, what
Sure.
do you do? What do you do? Hey, I love your shoes. I love you. Hey, the break weather, something like that. And I am always thinking, however, is like, when I feel like I had a good connection with this person, I want to carry it more and the elevator doors are getting ready to open,
Right.
kind of thing. I'll ask them, hey, I'd like to stay in touch. Do you have your business card, or
Sure.
something like
Yeah.
that? Or if you're at an event or you're someplace where you're going to see them again, I will have a tendency with that person to kind of go up to them later on and say, hey, it was great chatting with you. Hey, do you have your card?
Right.
Get something, I'd love to stay in touch. Are you on Facebook? What do I look? Just something that you can start building that relationship. It's not about like, hey, here, let me show you how, they ask you even what you do, you know, hey, here, pull out your phone. No, no, no. You got to be careful with you got to build those relationships first.
No, I think you're right. You and get them talk. You be the one that kind of directs the conversation.
Hmm.
Get them talking about themselves, what they do, what their interests are, just like what you said. And yeah, if it's in person, which hasn't happened a lot in the last year,
Yeah.
we're all gonna have to relearn that when we go back to meeting people. But it is, hey, do you have a business card? Or I'd love to stay in touch. Great connecting with you. And then just build that rapport. And when it's right, it's right. Then for you to say, you asked what I did. It is visual. I'd love to show you.
Hmm.
When do you have time?
Yeah, exactly.
And then you with the
Then it goes,
process of send
hey,
a card, show them how to
so
use it.
funny, you talk about mean people. How about your Uber drivers? All these times when you had an Uber driver, I literally, and I started thinking about this. It's like I have one Uber driver from 2 years ago that is in my back office as an affiliate.
Yep,
Just staying in touch with them and moving
sure.
on from that. I have another Uber driver that literally launched his album this past month. Just stayed
Okay.
with him on Facebook and was able to stay connected that way. And this Uber driver was like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But so you didn't throw things in their face at the beginning. You just
No.
kind of get to know them
It
and,
ha-
wait,
Let that happen naturally.
let it happen naturally and you go from there. So Shawn, what about if somebody refers you a friend, refers a friend to you? How do you
Well, obviously
how do
they're
you initiate that?
obviously they're being referred. I'm assuming, if it's referred, it's going to be for send out cards.
Mhm.
You know, greener still. And in all of these cases, I I'm still leading with send out cards.
Mhm.
And if there's an opportunity to talk with them about greener still, or as you're asking questions, and if something comes up and you're like, prompting you would be good for you. Hey, let me tell you about something else. But to puke 6 things on them at one time, that's not realistic. And then you're just
Right.
going to get this. So it's always send out cards lead. And it's same thing, trying to now, if it's a referral and we've had some communication, great. Let's, I had one from a BNI and he said, oh, you should talk to this person. So great. Hey, let's, love to do a Zoom with you, learn what you do. And, let me show you, cause he put in there what I did.
Mhm.
Um, and let's do a Zoom. And she's like, well, God, great time. Do you have time for a call? And I said, nah, really a Zoom would be better. Cause I would really want to walk you through sending a card. So it's scheduled for next week, and with that, it's kind of we'll just do the quick relationship build, but get them to send a card. Obviously, you'll gather their address. And if you got their business card, if the previous is a total stranger, you want to send them a card.
Mhm.
So again, and then it's back to walk them through sending a card, show them how to get started. And I always, if you're meeting somebody that they don't know really what you do, that's been introduced by somebody else, I'll say, I'm going to walk you through sending a card to somebody you care about. Please have a person in mind with their address that you want to send a card.
Yeah.
So that way, there's not that I don't have an address, that little
Right. Right. Catch 'em by
time.
surprise. Yeah.
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 But again, same thing. Walk them through sending a card. If something comes up with one of the other products, mention it. Everybody has the links on their send out card account, even if they just did one card. And I'll tell them, look, there's links for other things in there. Click on them, play around. And then every single one, whether it's a stranger, introduced by somebody that's a stranger, a friend or a family, I always, what's the next step? I always set that next appointment. When can I follow up with you?
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
tell me and
Yeah.
put that on the calendar.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I
And
know, but when I get a referral from someone, by the way, you card senders out there, you get that referral, make sure you're sending a card to that person that referred
sure,
you.
absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a valuable thing. Whether that person becomes a customer or not is not the answer, not the reason. It's just do it because they took the time to refer you with it. But I do, with the, I always bring people in through the Greener Still site. And when I'm
Yeah, we do
talking
too.
with, even when I'm talking with that referral friend, it's always, again, finding out what they do, what they're looking, and just kind of get to know them a little bit more.
Right.
And at some point, when I get into the send out cards, then I tell them my story, a little bit, on why I got started with send out, why I love send out cards so much. Sometimes that sounds better than I got started because,
Right.
it's like, why do I love send out cards so much? And your story is going to be embedded in there. But, now that on the Greener Still, I always bring people through on the Greener Still. Now that everything, the links are at the top there, it was very easy to click on the streams and say, hey, we got a lot of other options out here. Based on what you've told me already, I think these two are going to be a great pick
Right.
for you.
Check them
We'll
out.
talk about that, kind of thing. And that way you can kind of go through. And I had somebody else yesterday on the phone, and we were going through the whole, going through the send out cards and what we do and so forth and so on. And we sent the free card and that type of thing. And when he started talking about, like, I'd like to do the birthdays, I'd like to do this, but this is going to have to be something I'm going to start in May. I want to start it later. He said, because I don't have the time to do it now. I said, well, oh, by the way, one of those streams I mentioned, one of them is the VA service.
Right.
I think they can do it for you. And his eyes just lit up. You're like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, this makes all the sense in the
And
world.
when you talk about that, let them know it's, you don't have to train an admin, or I don't have to train an admin if you're not going to do your cards. And if there's ever a change, these people, the virtual assistants probably know the site better than anybody.
Yes,
So
exactly.
you're not having to train them to do that
Right.
on
Right.
top of getting them to send cards. No, and I think you hit on with, tell your why, which you really should have two whys, two stories, because
Mhm.
if it's somebody like the last week, I knew he was looking for an opportunity. So I told my story more geared towards, I saw this as a business opportunity
Right.
and,
Right.
and how big I think this is going to be.
Right.
Versus if it's somebody that you're just meaning, hey, here's why I got started with Send Out when I was doing mortgages, because I wanted a way to follow up. I wanted a way to be top of mind. And then I fell in love with it when I really saw, again, back to the Picture Plus cards, when I could do one-to-one cards, that's when I really fell in love with it and what impact you could have on people. So you really should have two stories, and you can weave them both in depending on who you're talking to and when you see it appropriate. So one should be just to show, and here's why I'm using the send out card site. And then one should be, hey, here's why I saw the opportunity and how big how big it is and how much bigger it's going to be over the next few years because what we just launched.
Yeah.
And then with friends, you can just be real. Hey man, I found something really cool. Love to show you. And if it's, I think we even joked back in the day, it's like if you want to get your first, your fast start bonus, call the 5 or 6 people that you could call, and they would bail you out of jail if you were in jail.
Yeah.
Let's get your 50, your 30 points and get your 100, you get your bonus. So call those people first. But the same thing. I'm send a card, and then family. I'm like, well, these are the people that are going to tell you the truth.
Families are the toughest. It's sad when people start with their family first.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't.
No.
Yeah, but a way to do that is, hey, I found something really cool. I'd love to get your advice on it.
Yeah.
Then you put them in a position of, oh, well, okay, and they'll tell you.
My favorite nephew.
So then you're not trying to get them to join.
Uh-huh.
And you may even say during the whole thing of saying, look, I know you're probably not interested in this, but I really want your advice. And then, well, why wouldn't I be interested? They're going to think that. Well, why wouldn't you think I was going to be interested? So you've kind of done the reverse psychology on the family of don't try to get them involved in your business right away. They'll be unless you approach them like that. They want to see the checks. Well, what are you making?
Yeah.
But you got to know how to approach them as well. So, but same thing. Let's send a card to somebody.
And probably another piece of advice in the family, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Don't let them bring you down, or don't let your closest friends, if you might have some even close.
Because everybody's had an uncle that's tried that pyramid business and it failed.
Yeah.
What they don't tell you is that uncle has failed at everything. So
this was just one thing he wanted to tell you.
We all know that uncle. So
hey, you know what? I'll tell you what too. I found in sharing the greener still, and when you get when that point comes up about the duplication, either way, the duplication plan comes up first if you're showing somebody that's interested in the affiliate side, or the customer referral program comes up when you're talking about a customer. It's all the same thing. Right. And so when you can say it that way, you can say like, what, we have a customer referral program. It works the same way as if you're affiliated, except you get credit on your product.
Right. Would you rather have credits or would you rather make money?
That's exactly. And I just did that.
Tell me.
I said, it's up to you. Credits or money, credits or money.
Money. Okay.
Yeah.
But some will tell you, what, I'll just refer them to you. If I get some credit to offset, great. Some people aren't interested in that at all. That's fine. You got to funnel people in and out. So
exactly. So yeah, there's a lot of the whole process is really good stuff. And now that everything's across the top, it makes it very, very easy, quick and easy to really kind of go in there and talk to people about it and focus on it. Hey, Shawn, just on the side, when you are in a networking group. Okay. And, this is a question that I get with people, especially those that have been in send out cards for quite some time. And now we got the greener still. How do you focus on it in networking group? Do you just stay focused totally on the send out cards?
Yep.
Okay.
Now I'm in the process of going back through my networking group and educating them on greener still to let them know what other products I have. I always send them to greenerstill.com/my7391. And I do that with that was one of the steps in whether it's a stranger, introduction to a stranger, family or friend. I always send them the greener still site because yes, it's on their send out card site, but that way they can get in there and look at it. But I'm just going back and educating them on, hey, here's other things I have. And you know what? And with the stream marketing, we have 2 people in my networking group that do the websites and SEO stuff. And I say, look, I'll never mention this one within the group. However, I know that's not in their wheelhouse because they don't charge $87 a month. So I'm still leading with send out cards. I'm not changing that. And then again, when, here's what I've been telling everybody. What I love about this is, and I know that anybody or everybody you show greener still to, every single person, one of those 6 products is going to resonate with them. And if you just ask the question, So you saw all 6. Which one popped to mind first? They're going to tell you. So everyone, it's not like we have send out cards and, oh, I close 50% of the people and 50% don't do anything. Now you have it when you get to that point where you're showing them everything. One of those things, the educational thing, the Blue 42. Oh, somebody will do my cards for me. Sign me up. So
Mhm.
one of those products we have is going to resonate with everybody.
Mhm.
Just keep that in mind. But if you're struggling, just do what you do. We've talked about this. Just
Yeah.
send out cards and then just listen when people tell you something.
Yeah.
Just like you said, I don't
Learn,
have time right now.
yeah,
You know,
learn to listen what people are saying. Learn to listen around you. And I'll tell you what, listen with your eyes on Facebook too. You
absolutely.
know, because I had somebody on a feed the other day put on this like really funky picture of someone like laying in their bed and all like their eyes rolling back like they don't sleep, all over sheets, all over the place,
Right.
kind of things. That anybody like this at nighttime? And it's like, people are in the whole feed were making
Right.
comments. And then I put on there and say, hey, I used to be, I said, but I started using a new product that has really helped that out. If you want to know more about it, private message me.
Yep.
I didn't throw the link out there. I didn't make it salesy. I didn't do it.
Right.
Private message me. I
Yep.
had people private message me.
Yeah.
And now you got the perfect GS at Pro app, man, that where you can just take that flyer for Blue 42 and send it to them
Boom. Yeah.
and take a look when they look at it,
Right. Yeah.
and then
No,
start to
absolutely.
follow up and start your whole process with that. So just pay attention to what people are saying, and pay attention to what they might want, yeah.
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 Use them
Be
proportionally.
your
We've
mouth,
said
yeah.
that before.
And
Yes.
you
I'm
are.
not quite sure how I listen with my eyes.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Shawn, you said something about, and if you didn't all have a chance to listen to Jordan Adler this Monday night, he had a great training and he brought up a good point that a lot of, I know I didn't think about this because you got these web designers out there and you got people that do promote on social media and charge hundreds of dollars for that. You know, they might look at that as you as a competition, but reframe it a little bit. Wouldn't it be advantageous for them to be a part of themselves having stream marketing
Right.
and as that a tool in their toolbox when they're talking about it? Because
Well,
when they're talking to everybody, nobody becomes their client. Not everybody
no.
becomes their client because of the
And
dollar.
you're and
Now they've
then
got
you're
another
you're
option.
priming future business.
Yeah.
Well, they can't afford me right now, but if I get them this and then I help them with this and charge
Yeah.
them a little bit, but then I'm getting paid on it every month when they are ready for a major website or SEO.
Yep.
I'm yeah, I
That's
did
a
that
great.
with our business to business group
Yeah.
within the BNI, and I said I'm looking for web designers, and just kind of explained it that way that it's not competition.
Mhm.
Uh, and it's somebody that maybe can't afford them now, but in a year they can. So they just didn't push them away.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So I thought that was a great tip and
absolutely.
great training out there with that. So, but hey, bottom line, nothing has changed on how you build relationships with people, no matter what
Mhm.
level they're at. And nothing has changed on how we can nourish those relationships
Yep,
with the tools we have. We just have more tools to do it.
yep, no,
Right. Awesome.
absolutely. And as far as the comp plan goes, 15 points makes you $50. You share it with other people and they get 30 points, that makes you $50, and that grows from there. It's that simple. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't
Yeah.
have to figure it out.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the comp. I'm sure there's a comp plan, several page thing in there. Just go show people like you were doing, and that's all going to take care of itself.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Get back to the showing and
yep.
send the cards and send St. Patrick's Day cards. Just saying, St.
Did
Patrick's.
mine this week to my BNI group, and then I'm doing some other ones. So yeah, thank you. I'm lucky to be in your circle. That's how I feel. Just whatever you want to say with that. So
Yep, so simple, simple,
yep,
simple. So awesome.
perfect.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up here today. Have a great week and thanks for joining us. And please share and like and make a comment. We are discovering as we put this on the official site, comments bring us back to the top so more people can see it. We hear people
Hey,
all
and
the time.
comments make you relevant, and they need to be at least 5 words.
That's right. That is the
So
new.
not just okay. Hey, great show today. Joy. Great show today. 2 days, 1 word. Joy and Shawn. So, but if you do that, if you make comments, that's in an algorithm with Facebook. So you're going to get more relative comment. You're going to be more relative on Facebook.
Right.
So make sure you're just not clicking the like button or love button, but you're making comment, not just on our stuff, but any stuff you see on
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah, that's a tip for all of them. You know, when
Yeah.
I do my motivated money calls, I'm realizing that with them too. So I'm starting to tell them now too, like, hey, 5 words.
Yep.
I
5
love
words.
you, Joy. Thank you. No.
Yeah. I really, really, really love you. Okay, you're
All
not
right.
writing a high school paper. I'm very, 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 very excited.
Yeah.
So, anyway, off on a tangent
All the
again.
same
So
word.
yeah.
Happy
All
weekend,
righty, everybody.
everybody.
Have a great
St.
weekend.
Patrick's Day next week and have a good one.
And Joy's birthday. Send her
Yeah.
cards.
Yes, yes, I do. Oh, I didn't even put my hat on.
Oh, that's next Thursday.
Now.
Yeah, she throws it. See,
Yeah.
she's been drinking already. Damn Irish people.
Yeah, there really was green beer in that too. So
Yeah, I'm sure there was. So.
bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.